What's up, y'all? It's your sister. Listen, I'm here to talk to y'all really, really quickly about Chloe and Normani. Things are getting weird. Things are getting very, very weird, girls. And we have to address just a couple things. First of all, I don't like the following things, and some people are gonna be very, very upset with me, but I don't care. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is, how it is when it comes to me. Y'all are fucking weird. You have Chloe, Beyonce is my mother in secret, Bailey, performing for the first time Have Mercy as a new solo artist at the VMAs. Her single is what, 2-3 days old, and y'all are focusing on a non-existent tampon string? Like, are y'all okay? Seriously, like, are y'all okay? And what really gets me with this is most of the comments, most of the tweets that I've seen about this shit are coming from girls, are coming from women, right? First of all, let's start from the top. Let's start from the top, okay? How the hell could Chloe's tampon string be showing? I mean, if she is wearing a tampon. First of all, I mean, women do wear tampons. I don't know if you guys are aware, but women have this thing called, you know, a monthly uterus civil war that goes on inside of our fucking bodies, where blood is splattering every fucking second of every fucking day for 3 to 7 days out the motherfucking month. And we just have to just go along with life and act like everything is okay, as if our ovaries are not slashing each other to death, as if it's the movie 300. Okay? Like, have y'all not been aware that this shit has been happening since the beginning of fucking time? Okay. So, first of all, how would her tampon string be showing if she was? I mean, you know, from time to time, women do tend to perform. I mean, just because you're a performer, just because you're a mainstream artist doesn't mean that your period stops. It has to keep going, because, you know, as a woman, when God created it, well, actually, when God created us, we ain't had no period, but that bitch Eve ate that motherfucking apple, and then what had happened was God was like, oh, you want to eat the motherfucking apple I told you not to eat? Okay, boom, periods. We'll talk about Eve some other time, because actually, I think the story wasn't told right. I actually think Adam ate the... You know what? We'll get back to that some other time. But even if she was on her period, and even if she was wearing a tampon, right? You mean to tell me that the tampon string was able to surpass her underwear, her bodysuit that she used to compress her body, her leotard, and then the actual costume? Like, you mean to tell me that the tampon string was able to surpass all of those layers of clothing? Y'all can't be that dumb. Y'all can't be that intentionally stupid in 2021. It's scary. Like, it's weird. Things are getting weird. Chloe is getting weird. Let me tell you how I know y'all are weird. Just not even like that, number one. But then you mean to tell me Chloe came on stage, gave a performance of that caliber, and y'all were able to point out a flaw such as a possible tampon string, which, if you use common sense, which in fact isn't common, you could come to a very sensible conclusion that it was a piece of garment. But y'all were able to focus on a non-existent tampon string while this girl was performing as if Gabriel was about to sound his trumpet and he said, Chloe, you're gonna be the first performer to perform before Jesus come back and get us out this motherfucking corona-filled yucky ass planet. Like, y'all were able to focus on that. Y'all are weird. Like, y'all are fucking weirdos. Like, it's weird. I did a video on my Instagram, and, you know, this is another example of people being weird, but literally I said, Chloe, you're doing too much. Yes, bitch, yes. You're doing too fucking much. And I love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay, so I post this and it's people like, oh my God, you're a fucking hater. I mean, of course, you know what? Like, you know, a lot of people, not only do they need to get tested for coronavirus and STDs, and you know, and when you get tested for STDs, please get the complete panel testing. I think that's the word, when you get tested for everything. But a lot of y'all need to get tested for hearing. A lot of y'all need to get tested for hearing, because like I got so much hate comments and so many unfollows for this shit, and I was just like, okay, like it's fucking weird. But the weirdest part of that was I kept getting messages like this, like, can my camera zoom in? Like, this girl is begging me to talk about Chloe's tampon string in my DM. My good sir, please do a part 2 on Chloe because she's getting dragged about her tampon string. This is a girl. Why are y'all, like, why do y'all be so desperate to find flaws on people? Like, do you know, even if Chloe's tampon string, even if she was on her period, and even if her tampon string was showing, like, do you know the way that you feel about yourself is not going to change? Like, putting her down is not going to change your self-esteem. As a matter of fact, putting her down lowers your self-esteem. As a matter of fact, the same way you woke up this morning and looked in the mirror and said, God damn, what was God thinking? You will wake up tomorrow and think the same thing. It's just, things are getting weird when y'all have to focus on finding flaws on somebody, especially at a moment like this. Like at a moment like this, some people wait a lifetime. Like, some of y'all want to experience something like this one day, where you have your first song and you get to perform at the VMAs. Like, some of y'all want to experience that, and y'all will never experience highs like this because you're so focused on finding a flaw in someone else with the hopes that it will make you feel better about yourself. And I'm here to tell you, you will wake up tomorrow and still feel like the shitty person that you are, because you are a disgusting, vile human being. That's just who you are. And so whether her tampon string is showing or not, the bitch had to, she got to perform at the VMAs and then turn around and went to the Met Gala while you were at home still trying to beg somebody to look at a non-existent tampon string. Just let that sink in. Normani, I don't like this. You know, I was looking at the internet and I was seeing all these tweets about, and all these posts, people saying that Normani had to beg to perform at the VMAs. And here's the thing, right? I mean, I didn't see where Normani ever begged to perform at the VMAs. I believe somebody asked her, are you know, something about the VMAs, and she's like, hey, I wasn't invited. That's begging? Is that begging? And even if she were to say, you know what, I wasn't invited, but you know, I feel like I should be invited to perform. Even if she did say that, that's begging. How many of you guys at your jobs have you spoken up when you felt overlooked? Raise your hand. Was that begging? Was that begging you? Put your loving hand out, baby. I mean, was that begging? Or were you just telling the truth? Hey, I've been putting in the work. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and I still haven't been invited to have a promotion. Like, she didn't even say all that. But even if she did, so speaking up for yourself and just stating a fact or stating how you feel, like, that's begging? Here's what I don't like with the whole Normani situation. Anybody with 20/20 vision can see that shit is not adding up with Normani. The woman has millions of fans who are salivating, who salivate at the thought of her dropping music. And every time she drops music, the attention, the streams, the tweets, the engagement. The proof is in the pudding. The girl has a serious fan base that loves and supports her. But for whatever the reason, the industry is not treating her that way. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think the reason is. I think it's the same reason why Janet Jackson saw a depletion in her career, is being a black girl in the pop industry. Especially being a dark-skinned girl, a chocolate girl in the pop genre. You're not going to get the same looks. Even if you are Michael Jackson's sister, you still have to deal with racism, sexism, when you're in the pop sector. Even though nobody on God's green earth can hold a pen, can hold a candle to Janet Jackson, and probably never will be able to. You see Normani at these awards 30 years later is doing something that Janet Jackson has been doing for how many decades at her shows? Paying homage. How many white artists have we seen pay homage or mirror the things that Janet Jackson has done? Normani, something's not adding up, sis. And it's not you. It's this industry. I ain't gonna say too much because whenever I say stuff, people always gonna chop it up. But it's clear as day. It's clear as day because the math doesn't math up. When you look at the excitement, the streaming that was going on with the Wild Side, and how it took a huge dip out of nowhere, how people weren't able to play the song. Like, it's not a motherfucking coincidence. Okay? This is why when it comes to girls like Chloe, Normani, like, y'all need to do a better job of protecting these girls and not saying certain things for the entire world to see. You don't think that people outside of our community see this shit and they're like, it's okay. It's okay to say these things now because they're saying it about their own people. So it's okay to say it. It's okay to say this about Chloe. It's okay to say this about Normani and all the other black pop artists to come or that are here. It's okay to sidetrack, place them to the side. It's okay not to invite them. They gonna beg. I don't like this. Am I the only one who feels like this? Like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Before I end, I will say this. Chloe giving me Beyonce Deja Vu at the BET Awards back in 2007, I think it was. And Normani giving me Janet Jackson. Like, honestly, what a way to set the tone for the week and for the remainder of the year. And what a way to raise the bar for black girls that are coming into the pop space to say, yo, you can do it. You can raise the bar. You don't have to be mediocre. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You could come on here and you can do everything you've ever wanted to do. You can be a Missy Elliott mixed with Beyonce, mixed with Diana Ross. Like, you can do it all. I really, really hope, like, the same way we tweet these hashtags about, like, protecting black girls, and I really hope that we start to mirror that when it comes to these girls that are in the industry, like Chloe, Normani, SZA, like Solange, like all these girls. I really, really hope we keep that energy. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I don't like this. Fix it, Lord. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about Chloe and Normani's performances. Let me know what you guys think about people focusing on these negatives that have nothing to do with anything. And I'll see you guys in my next video.